It's been almost 5 months on Zepbound, and in this episode, I'll share with you the good, bad, and the ugly of what's happened to my body since taking it. I want to let you know that this episode is brought to you by my new program, Be Brilliant on YouTube, where we help you brand and build your YouTube channel so that you can share your stories of transformation. Because so many of you have amazing stories of transformation. You can reach the audience that you're here to serve and inspire hundreds of thousands of people. Just imagine the impact that you can have in the lives of others by showing up and shining online. And at the same time, being able to monetize your message. For us, we were able to monetize our YouTube channel in just 45 days. And I'd love to share and show you exactly how I did it. So if that's something that you're interested in and you want to build your own channel to help you get seen, heard, and valued for the brilliance that you bring to the world, then simply send me an email. You can email me at Angela@BeBrilliantMovement.com. That's Angela@BeBrilliantMovement.com, and I will reach out to you. All right, so let's go ahead and jump into it. Hello, 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 bold, brave, and brilliant ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for tuning in to Zepbound Journey with Ange. I'm Angela Durant, and my friends call me Ange, and you can too. If you're new here, welcome. It's so nice to have you here. I will tell you that this channel is for you. If you're someone who's considering weight loss medication, you're already on Zepbound, Wegovy, Saxenda, Mounjaro, or Ozempic, and you want to find out more information about it, you want to, not feel alone in this journey, because there's so many of us, so there's no need to feel alone. We can all be in this together. But if that is you, then you are in the right place. I also created a free PDF download that'll be in the description of this episode, just for you. So if that's something that you're interested in, it is a beginner's jumpstart guide to losing weight on Zepbound. And I also share the 5 biggest mistakes to avoid that can derail your success. So you can download that for free. You'll find it in the show notes. All right. So I started using Zepbound in February of 2024. After trying pretty much everything, right? At my highest weight, I was 331 pounds. When I started Zepbound, I was 296, and my doctors were really concerned because my weight just kept creeping up. Like the scale just wasn't stopping. And they were concerned because they ran my blood work and they found, I had all these different health challenges. So I'm only, just so you know, at my highest weight I was 331, but my height is only 5'2.5" So that was a lot of weight being carried on my frame. But once I started taking this medication, right, everything changed. Everything changed. And for those of you who are fearful of taking the medication, I just want to, as a side note, I just want to share a few things with you. When I started this medication, Zepbound, I started at 5 milligrams, and I'll show you what that looks like. It looks like this, and they're all color coded. So I'll show you. Like, it looks like this. It comes in a pen. I started at 5, and then I didn't go to the next. So the starting dose of Zepbound is 2.5. I didn't start at 2.5. I started at 5 because I had already been on Ozempic and Saxenda. So I already knew I could tolerate the GLP-1s. So my doctor started me at a higher dose. So I started at 5, and then I went from 5 to 10 because the 5 wasn't really giving me the impact that I needed. So I went to 10, and this is what the 10 one looks like, okay? So they're all the same, but they're just color-coded differently. So I went to the 10 milligrams. And then after 10 milligrams, I was fine on 10 milligrams. I was doing okay. I was losing weight. But the challenge was the shortage, right? I couldn't find 10 any longer. So I called my pharmacy, and they said they had 12.5. And so I talked to my doctor. She asked me a bunch of questions. She did my blood work, and then she approved the 12.5, which looks like this. So this is the pen, 12.5. And I know there's several of you who are watching this episode who are afraid of this pen, right? You're afraid of the pen. You're like, oh no, I don't want to give myself a needle. I don't want to give myself a needle. This Zepbound, unlike Saxenda I took every single day, right? It's a needle every single day. This one is just once a week, right? And I'll open it. When you get it, you just open it, you unlock it, and you can inject it in your belly fat, the back of your arm with the assistance of someone else helping you, or in your thigh, right? And I don't know if you can see it, but there's a teeny tiny needle up in there. I don't know if you can see it on here, but it's super, yeah, you can see it. It's super thin, and it's 2 clicks. When you press the button, when you unlock it and you press down on the top, it's 2 clicks and then you're done. And sometimes I'm like, did the medicine even go in? Like, did it even prick my skin? Like, did anything happen? Because I felt nothing. I'm telling you, it is, it's nothing. It's super, super easy. So even if you have a fear of needles, it is very easy to take. Okay. So, once I started taking this medication, everything really started to change for me. And, but before, let me just talk about before I started on Zepbound, I had head hunger cravings that were really dominating me. It was like, I always refer to it as like a beast, right? A beast that I had to fight all day, every day, right? And I couldn't control it. As hard as I tried, I couldn't control it. And for those of you who suffer from the disease of obesity, I'm sure that you can relate that this is probably resonating with you, because no matter how much you tell yourself, I'm not going to eat that, I'm not going to, overeat, I'm not going to eat too late in the evening, all the things we say to ourselves when the food is presented, or there's a trigger, or you're just bored or whatever, it's almost like the food is calling you and you indulge in it even though you don't want to, right? So I weighed 296 pounds and the scale just kept creeping up, right? And my doctors were really concerned because they felt like it was bringing on all these other health issues. And so I'll give you an example. My A1C, which is, it reflects your average blood sugar levels. And so when they tested me for that, my A1C was 6.1. And that's a pre-diabetic range. 6.4 and over is diabetic, right? So I was getting closer and closer to that. My numbers just kept going up, and I was diagnosed as being pre-diabetic. Because it was 6.1. So it was very, very close to being diabetic. And that was very scary for me because my grandfather on my father's side had diabetes, and he had his leg amputated. And that was, just the thought of that is very, very scary. And so it was a huge concern. So 6.5 is diabetic. So I would say 6.1 to 6.4 is pre-diabetic, right? And so the problem was that I couldn't control it, right? I couldn't, even though I was afraid and I was trying to figure out ways to, get this under control, I still couldn't control my eating. And I've had people tell me that I needed to address the underlying issues, which I don't disagree with. They were like, well, you need to deal with, not go on any diets, not take any medication. You need to deal with the underlying issues that cause you to crave foods and want more and more, right? And I understand that. But what I would tell anybody who says that is that when you suffer from the disease of obesity, you need to arrest the disease first before you deal with the underlying issues, because it's very difficult to fight a battle when you feel like you're unarmed, right? And so with the medication, it clears the brain fog. It removes the cravings, like it blocks those cravings so you can think clearly. You're more rational when it comes to food. You can choose for yourself better, and then you can deal with the underlying issues. I hope that makes sense. Let me know in the comments if that makes sense to you. So, it was really strong, right? That those cravings were really strong for me. And I would say it was like an addiction. I remember when I lived in my old home, I came home late in the evening one night and I wanted something. I was like opening the fridge. I, went through the cabinets and I was craving something. And it was almost like my body knew that there was something in the kitchen that would satisfy me, right? Something that would satisfy me. And so what it was really weird. I never forgot this because I went through the cabinets and I ended up making cream of wheat. I don't know if any of you have ever grown up eating cream of wheat, but cream of wheat is refined. I put sugar in it, I put butter in it, a little bit of milk, and those combinations of foods were what would comfort me and settle me down and really sedate me. And so for those of you who understand that head hunger and the different types of foods and the combinations in your system was like a chemical for me. It reminded me the way that I was able to go in the kitchen and know there was something in there that was satisfying me. What was, to me, it reminded me of an addict, right? Somebody who's walking the streets looking for their next fix. And they know that there's somebody out there selling it. They just got to find them. So it was really to that level for me. I had head hunger, I had brain fog, the satiety wasn't there. And I was pre-diabetic. I had high blood pressure. There was a lot going on before I started taking Zepbound. Okay. And I'm going to tell you the good, bad, and ugly, right? So Zepbound is not 100% perfect, but it is a game changer when it comes to someone who's suffering from the disease of obesity. I will tell you that 5 months out, my body is being transformed. It is being transformed. Initially, it gave me hope that, I could arrest this disease, right? I saw what other people were doing. I read the articles. I watched the news. They talked about this. Today, I would say that I have more faith that it's possible, right? Because I'm seeing the results in my own life, right? I'm no longer a slave to the food. It is not my master. It has no power over me. So as of today, I've lost almost 50 pounds in 5 months. That's about 10 pounds a month, about 2.5 pounds per week is my weight loss. And I think I'm losing at that pace because I have so much to lose. I would think that as I come down in size, that would, could you please not do that? I would think that when I come down in size, that would no longer be an issue. Okay. So there's other people here in the background, so I apologize for the noise. So, as I come down, you may lose like a pound a week or less. That would be really helpful. Sorry about that. There was a distraction. Okay, so let's get back onto this. So initially, so I lost 50 pounds in the 5 months, and then my size changed, right? So I started trying on clothes in my closet, right? If you watch some of my other episodes, you know that I was trying on different clothes, different outfits to get myself down in weight. And to see, right, versus hopping on the scale, I was able to see that the weight was changing. And so I was probably initially around a 24, 26 down to about a 20. I wouldn't say an 18, 20, maybe a 20 right now, but the weight is coming off. And that has been, it really been a game changer for me. But it's not all good news. It's not all good news. So for those of you who think you can go on this process and take it and everything is wonderful, there are other things to consider, right? My skin is looser than it was before. And I never really had a lot of muscle tone in my body. I had cellulite on my legs. My arms are really big. But I have noticed that my skin is looser than it was before over these past 5 months. So what I'm doing is I'm lifting weights. I'm doing more, less cardio and more strength training to help me combat that, right? To help build up the muscle in my arms and my legs. I will say the side effects that I've experienced, there are so many different side effects that could happen to you. But for me, I would say, I have fatigue, usually the first day that I take the dose, or if I titrate up to the next level. Itchy bumps. I've had itchy bumps that for the first time, this last dose of 12.5 did not give me that. That was the very first time that I've taken it that I didn't have that issue. Also, in the beginning, one of the challenges that I was having was I was finding it hard to fall asleep. I didn't think I had insomnia, but after listening to some of the other people on YouTube talk about, and people in my community talk about their side effects, I noticed that in the beginning I did have some harder nights to sleep, where I would wake up, toss and turn a little bit after taking the medication. The other not so good, ugly part is that the medication cost, right? It's expensive. And in the beginning, I paid out of pocket for it, right? I knew that there was going to be a sacrifice. I didn't know if or when my insurance company would cover it. So that's, an ugly part of, having to deal with it. And there's anxiety that can come with it. I know a lot of people get stressed because they're not sure if, their insurance is going to cover it, or if they can find it with the shortages that have happened over the last several months. So sometimes the other issue that I've had on my body with it is that sometimes it starts to wear off in day 4 or 5. And I noticed that the cravings are starting to slightly creep back in, not as strong as they were in the past, but I noticed that they do start to come back. And at this point, I'm at 12.5, and I'm not looking to go up to 15 just yet, because I am still having success at 12.5. So my goal is to maintain this as long as I possibly can. So I believe I'll be on this medication for life. Some people say that they want to get down to their ideal weight, and then they want to titrate off of the medication. For me, I think this is something that I'll probably need forever because of what I know and what I've experienced with the disease of obesity. The other thing is, that's, a part that is not so nice is not knowing how this medication might affect my health 5-10 years from now. Like, we have some results we know, like from the Novo Nordisk drug Ozempic and Wegovy. We know that those medications have been given to diabetic patients for, I want to say, 14 years. So it's been out for a long time. But we still don't know, like maybe 20 years from now, there could be something. And so that's a little bit scary. I've heard about hair loss, blindness, which is super scary, and kidney disease, things like that could impact us long term. So these are the things that could affect your body long time. But the good news is that I can see food and not be tempted. Right? The beast now, as I like to say, that beast is on a leash, right? It's not controlling me. It's not my master anymore. My body is stronger than it was before. I have greater endurance than I ever had before. I can walk up a slight flight of steps and not be winded and tired, right? I feel like I have more pep in my step, more energy than I had before. And I think it's just getting better. The more weight that I lose is getting better. The sleep apnea is getting better, right? I still have those nights where I'm snoring, but not like before. So that has been a game changer for me. I talk about that in one of my episodes. That has really been a game changer for me. And then I shared with you a couple weeks ago my concern about going to the beach or going to the pool and putting on a bathing suit, right? I took the first step. I put my toe in the water, right? I got into a bathing suit. I went out there because I really want to live life, right? I really want to live life. And I feel like this weight that I possibly can. And maybe you can relate to that also. So just a few days ago, over the 4th of July holiday, I went to a public pool. I went to a public pool in my bathing suit, and I actually got into the water. Yay! I actually got into the water and it was wonderful. You know, there were so many people around. My husband was there. He was in the water. I was in the water and we had a great time. And I can't remember the last time I was in a swimming pool. Right. I can't even remember, but I was in there. I was doing, jumping around and splashing around and just having fun, just enjoying. It was a super hot day, just enjoying being at the pool, right? And I haven't done that in so long. And I want to thank all of you for the encouragement that you sent me to just do it, right? Just go ahead out there and do it. And um, I I know that being on this medication has helped me. This community has absolutely helped me. But slimming down some, feeling better in my body has given me the confidence to be able to put on a bathing suit and go out there in public and enjoy life, right? So the other thing I find that I want to go out more. I want to do things more. I want to be a girl out on the town more than before, right? And enjoying getting dressed up, wearing cute outfits, right? No, I'm not my ideal size just yet, but I'm getting there and I see the progress and I'm celebrating every little step along the way, right? So the other thing is knowing clothes will fit this body, right? That I don't have to try everything on. I can order online and know that I can get a size that actually fits me, right? And that when I get it in, sometimes it's too big for me, right? But knowing that you can order clothes online and they will fit you and they go up to a size that you can wear in a cute outfit, right? For the gentlemen out there, maybe that's not that important to you, but I know the ladies can understand. So after 5 months on Zepbound, my body has been transformed and so has my life, right? So has my life. I'm not there yet, right? I still have a long way to go, but today I know that it's possible and I have faith that I'm going to get there, right? I have faith that I'm going to get there. And for all of you who have stalled in your weight loss, you're struggling with your weight loss, you feel like the needle is not moving fast enough. I have somebody in the community said it took her 3 months to lose 3 pounds, right? And that can be disheartening, right? For those of you, I don't want you to lose faith. I don't want you to lose hope. I'll tell you that the medication does work. You might have to find the right dose for you, right? Talk to your doctor. This is just one girl's journey, right? I'm not a doctor, but talk to your doctor to find out, what you need to do to get the needle moving in the right direction for you. And I always say, if you gain weight, of course, we celebrate everything. So if you gain weight, I will say, don't get discouraged. You gain weight, let's find out why you gained weight, right? And use that information for your next week so that you can lose the weight. When you stay solid, you're stalled a little bit. Don't lose weight, don't lose hope, don't get discouraged, because at least you didn't gain, right? And if you lose weight, of course, you're on your journey to hitting your goal. So we celebrate all of those things here. We celebrate all of them. We celebrate you. Okay. So if this episode has helped you, this is something I wanted to share with people who are, maybe you're just getting started on your journey or you have a similar path, right? It's 50 pounds, almost 50 pounds. I'm just under that, but I will do a celebratory video once I hit it, but I know it's coming, right? But it's almost 5 months and almost 50 pounds, which is fantastic. And my body is transformed. It's so much better. Like my blood pressure has come down. I'm still on the medication. She said, I don't want you off the medication just yet. But my A1C I'm almost in the normal range. And it probably is normal range now because the last time they tested me was like a couple months ago, right? So the medication is working, it's doing its job, and it is making a huge difference in my life. And I just wanted to share that with you, both the good, bad, and ugly. Like everything hasn't been perfect, but the good definitely outweighs the ugly, right? And so if this has been of value to you, I want you to subscribe to the channel. Join us. This is a wonderful community of people, of like-minded people who are kind, they're caring, right? They're not here to judge you, but they're here to support you along your journey. We'd love for you to be a part of our community here on YouTube. So please subscribe. Please like the episode if you like it, and share it with someone else who may be struggling with the disease of obesity and is looking for someone who understands. They're looking for a community that will embrace them and not judge them. So thank you so much for joining Zepbound Journey with Ange. Don't forget, if you're somebody who is courageous enough to share your story and you want to build your own community on YouTube, which I highly recommend, it's a wonderful way to have reach. Like, we have had over 1 million impressions of our video. And we had like over 107, 108 so far, 1,000 views of the channel. So it's just imagine how many lives you can touch by sharing your story, your unique story, and the people that you're here to serve, serving them. So if you're interested in that, and I know it's not for everybody, but if you're interested in that, please send me an email, Angela@BeBrilliantMovement.com, and I will call you. Okay. I'll give you a text. I'll text you or call you. All right. With that, I want you to, if you have any questions, please feel free to leave your questions, your comments. I answer every single one right now. I'm doing my best to answer all of your comments. So please feel free to do that. I love to hear from you. I love to hear about your journey, how you're doing. And if there's any way that I can encourage or inspire you, I'm here to do that. And like always, I want you to go out there. I want you to be bold, because it takes boldness to make the decision make the decision to advocate for yourself and your health and wellness and start your journey, right? It takes boldness to do that. I want you to be brave, because it takes courage to be vulnerable and say you need help, right? It takes courage to show up on YouTube in your own community, right? And share your journey, right? And many of us, especially if you're a Gen Xer or a baby boomer, you're not used to showing up and sharing your story, right? Everything is pretty private, right? But when you think about the people that you can help, the lives that you can touch, it makes it so worth it. It really makes it worth it. So I want you to be brave, because it takes courage to do that. And I want you to be brilliant, because you are, and people need to see you. People are watching your transformation. Just today, I had a neighbor say to me, he's like, wow, I could definitely tell you're losing weight. You look great. Like, how much are you down? What are you doing? And so people are watching. And the people who need you, who are also suffering, because obesity and overweight and obesity impacts 70% of Americans. So it's not just you. You're not alone by yourself, right? And so you have the opportunity to really show up and shine, so that it gives other people permission to do the same in their own lives. So be bold, be brave, and be brilliant. Thank you so much for joining me again, Zepbound Journey with Ange. Take care, and bye for now. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.